Okay, so I think we're live. All right, guys. Hello. This is a demo of Zkool, my new wallet for Zcash. It's a successor to Y Wallet. It has many of the features are common. It improves on some aspects, and there are some parts are not ported. Or I don't think they will be migrated to this new wallet. The main reason why I'm building this is because the existing code for wallet were not meant to support some of the features that I wanted. And you can see in this demo that their parts are fairly well cleaned up and improved upon the previous wallet. So there are a few things that I would like to cover. So I have a cheat sheet here. I have to cover the database encryption, which is the fact that you can use multiple wallet files and they can be encrypted. Encrypted means that the data file is encrypted on disk, and if somebody has access to your computer and manages to steal your wallet file, they will not be able to open it without a password. Another thing here is diversified addresses. Zkool manages diversified addresses much better than Y Wallet, in the sense that it has support for multiple transparent addresses as well as shielded addresses. We can do address rotation like traditional transparent wallets, which means that if when it produces unified addresses, they are truly unlinkable for all their components, transparent, sapling, and orchard. So we're gonna see that. The import-export feature is one of the major reasons why Zkool is built. It's the ability to handle synchronization independently from account to account. This way you can have accounts that you seldom use inside your wallet file and just disabled. They will not participate in the global sync, but you can still have them there. And you can export a single account, import it into another wallet file. So this allows you to mix and match accounts at will. In the past, in Y Wallet, you could save your accounts, but you would save all of them at once and re-import them all at once. So you could not extract the ones that you wanted and merge into another wallet file. That was not supported in Y Wallet, but this is now possible. Well, we have here the traditional ability to of course, to shield from transparent to sapling orchard, and you have the max self-transfer, which is a convenient way to shield all your funds. Or if you want to completely clean up your account, you can use that to send all your funds to a different address. Could be useful for account rotation if you want to trim the history. Now we have also access to many more types of accounts, of viewing accounts. So before we had viewing account that would be essentially sapling or sapling and orchard, but now we can have viewing accounts that have any subset of keys. Could be even a transparent only viewing account. So I'm going to show you that here. And finally, this is a major one of the major scenarios is the ability to make minty transactions. A payment, a transaction that has minty recipients, and save that as a payment URI. So you can use payment URIs to save transactions that have more than one recipient. That was not supported in the past. The final use case here is fairly advanced, but it's something that I always liked in Y Wallet. You can make a transaction on the online wallet that is using a viewing key. So a wallet that, or an account that is not able to sign because it doesn't have the spelling keys. But then sign this transaction on the offline wallet by transferring the unsigned transaction to the offline wallet that has the keys but has no internet connection. Then once you do that, you will bring it back to the online wallet and broadcast it. So this is an end-to-end demonstration that we can carry with the Minty recipient transaction. All right, so there are quite a lot of things to cover. So let's start with the first one, DB encryption. So for that, let me first download the binary for Zkool, and this is still work in progress. At this point, most of the features are working. So unless they are, I mean, if there are bugs, we'll fix them. But I don't think of any major functionality that we'll have to add. Okay, so open that guy, and then drag it up here, and then we have up. Okay. All right. So the first time you launch, you would have a tutorial. This shows you that you press the plus button to create a new account. This is all the settings. This is your global synchronization. This synchronizes everything that you have on the account list. They are also enabled. So if you don't want an account to participate in synchronization, you disable it. And then you have this function to show or hide accounts. And this is the current height, which would be updated every 15 seconds automatically. But if you want to, you can tap on it and it would update. Then updating also manually also gives you the current market price. So now I'm going to create a new account. Press the plus button. First thing you need is the account name. Then you can upload an icon. By default, it would give the avatar would be the first two letters of the account. But then you can upload your image. This is a toggle that turns on the internal address for Orchard. That makes this wallet compatible with 316 actually, no, it's not 315. So there's a standard for unified addresses and wallet thingies, and well, the ECC is very insistent on using this method. So it is optional. Usually don't use it, but if you have a wallet that you want to recover from Zashi or other wallets that use a zip 316, then you must turn on this option. Whether you want to restore an account or not. And this is if you want to import an account, which we're going to demonstrate. We're going to use it later. And finally, you close it and you save it. All right. So I'm going to call my account test. So TE by default. I'm not going to use internal change, and I'm not restoring an account. But I'm going to change this icon. So I want a dog instead. So I'll list the dog here and I'll save it. Now this shows me the seed phrase. This account will not be used for anything else but demo. So I don't really need to save this seed phrase, but it's a good habit to always save your seed phrase. I'm gonna save it then to a temporary file. Yeah. Okay, so this is our seed phrase. And we are good with the new account. So it says that this is a list of accounts. If you want to select an account, you tap the row, and you can drag and drop to reorder. Okay, so we go here. If you tap on this icon, you will select this account for addition or deletion. So if I select this guy, we check it. You can check more than one. And if you want to edit, you press this button. If you want to delete, you press this button. So far, this account is good. So what is next on the agenda? So I have my new account. Oh, I wanted to change encryption. So already messed up. All right, let's do the encryption. So this file is not encrypted by default. It's Zkool primary file, and it's never encrypted. If you want to create an encrypted data file, need to change the name here. So it says that, and you can also change the lightweight server. Okay, these guys are advanced features that we don't want to care about now. We don't want to deal with now. Okay, this is the path on disk to our database file. Okay, so you just need to change that to, for example, test, and then we start the app. To close and restart. All right, so now it's going to use the test.db file. On the new file, I can set a password, and this password cannot be changed later. So you have to decide on a good password now, and you cannot. I mean, you have to remember it, of course. If without a password, you cannot open the file. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent password. Okay, so we're back to the stuff we had before. But you can see it's verified that you really need a password, because now if I start it, then we ask for the password. If I enter the wrong password, it will be denied. I cannot go through. So we are stuck there until you enter either the right password or you cancel. If you cancel, then you switch back to the main data file. Right, so enter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm on this file. Okay, so let's create a new account again. Test and my dog. Okay, and then save. Alright, so this is a different seed phrase. So I need to replace this one here. Okay. And then okay. We're now here. Okay, we check this. We create a new account. Let's throw the receiving address. Without any funds, this is pretty useless. Go to the account. It reminds me that you have the transparent balance here, the sapling balance here, the orchard balance here, and then this is a sum. This is the application log. You want to synchronize this account only, then you press this button. Then if you want to rewind, you press this button. Rewinding shouldn't be necessary ever. We still have this option in case you're debugging and something goes wrong or something. But normally the block reorganization should be detected automatically, and it should remain on the proper chain at all times. Okay, so this is the one we want. We want to see how to receive funds, so we need the receiving addresses. And this is the button to send funds. So this is receive, and the next one, and this is send. Okay, so I want to receive. And this is a sweep button. We could use it later. And this is a new diversified address button. Right. Okay. All right. So we have this address. We have this unified address has the 3 components: the orchard component, the sapling component, and the transparent component. This one is longer because it has all 3 receivers. If you want to only receive on orchard, you can use the pool specific address: orchard only, sapling only, and transparent only. And this is the button to show this as a QR code. So for the test, what I'm going to do is not use the primary address, but use diversify address. So I'm going to press this button to create a new set of address. And if you pay attention, so I have to pay attention. EYN is XYZ. Okay, I press. Okay, there's a confirmation. And everything has changed. So Orchard has changed, Sapling has changed, and Transparent has changed. So we are now a completely new set, a completely different set of addresses. So this UA address, even if you has the 3 components, 3 receivers, and even if you have this one and the previous one, they have nothing in common. You can disassemble them and compare them. They are unlinkable because nothing is identical between these 2 addresses. Alright, so I'm going to use this one to receive funds. So let me save this. And then actually I don't have to use that, do that. I can use the QR code here and send myself some funds. So I'm going to use my phone and do transaction on the phone. So it's going to be a small amount, 0.05 should be enough. Okay, so this is broadcast. And now I have to wait for a miner to pick up the transaction and put in a block. In the meantime, we can continue with the demo. So next thing I would like to show is the export of an account. So we have this account here, and okay, go back to the main page, and I want to save it. So I want to save it as an encrypted file, and not the whole wallet, but just this account. So I'm selecting this account, pressing the edit. Right, so it tells me that I can edit the name of the account, the icon, the birth height, and this is whether the wallet is enabled for global sync, and whether the wallet is hidden. So we're gonna use these options later. We can see the viewing keys, also gonna use that later. But this option I want is this export of encrypted file, and this reset is going to be used later too. All right, so let's export this account. I need a password too. Same 1 2 3 4 password, and I'm gonna save it to Zkool here. Okay. So this is done. So I go back here and I can do whatever I want, but now I would like to import this file. So usually what you would do is save the file and then import into another wallet file, another database. But for this demo, I don't want to switch between database files too often. So I'm going to import it here. So if I import it here, all I'm going to get is a copy of the previous account. Right, so I need to press this button instead of filling the form and pressing save. I click the import button and I go to test.bin. Right, so if I enter the wrong password, then I get an encryption error, a non-crypto error, which is technically the error that the library sends if the password is incorrect. But let's enter the right password now. Okay, so on the right password, the account will be imported successfully, and then I have 2 times the same one. The new one is just this one because the accounts are always imported in the first position. I'm going to delete the second one so that we work using the backup to make sure that the backup is as good as the original. Delete this one, just check this one and delete. Okay, bye-bye. So we have successfully exported and re-imported the account. So I deleted the old one. There's a note by editing the icon, but I already have a good icon, so I don't need to do that now. Okay, let's see if we have received the funds. It still says 0 because the wallet is behind, it's 19, and the current block height is 23. There is auto synchronization, but it kicks in when the wallet is older than this value here, than 30 blocks. And I don't want to wait for the blocks or lower this value, but instead what I'm going to do is press this button to do the global sync. Global sync will just sync every account that is enabled right now. Let's press this guy. And wow, still no, not arrived. Wow, still has not arrived. What's going on? It's pretty slow. Let me see if there's something wrong. Oh, it has just arrived. Oh. So let me sync again. So I press this button. All right, so the transaction has just arrived. I just check on the Block Explorer. So it's telling me that this is the transaction history that has this account, this transaction. And then I can tap here, and see the details of the transaction. So we have received one note on the transparent pool for this value. Nothing particular special about it. It is a transparent transaction, and well, therefore there's not much to say. All right. So next step is what then? Next step is we want to shield it, right? We want to transfer everything from transparent to orchard. Okay, so very simple. Just we press the send funds. It tells me where I want to send the funds. You can use the QR code scanner. Enter the amount. This is upload, the same as page as before. This is for core word signing, so we're going to do this later. Minty receivers also, we're going to do that later, and then the button to send. Okay, one thing I'm missing is actually my own orchard address. So I have to go back here, go to orchard. This is also a diversified address, but this is not my primary address because I already pressed this button here. Okay. Of course, diversified address is as good as our original addresses. So this is my transparent address, and this is my orchard address. Okay, so let's do the send again. We send here, and we press this button to max the amount. Then since we are doing T2O, we can enter a memo. So the memo shielding transaction. Okay, and then press send. Alright, so we have an option here to choose from our wallet which pools to use. By default, you will use any pools that are available in our wallet. But if you want to force a certain type of source, then you can check it, uncheck the other ones here. Recipient pays fees. We're going to use right now, so I'm going to talk about this right now and family confirmation. So this is a T2O. I could do this to force T, but I actually know that this wallet has only transparent funds, so it doesn't really matter. This one matters more. The transaction has some fees, a small amount of fees that somebody has to pay. So usually it's the sender that pays the fees, and the amount that we specified earlier is the amount that the receivers would get, the recipient would get. If I check this, then it's the recipient that pays the fees, meaning that they will receive a little bit, they would have to pay for the fees, and they would therefore receive less than the amount specified. In this case, since I set the amount to be the maximum amount of the funds of the account, then I have to check this option. Otherwise, the fees cannot be paid. So I check this guy here, and I send this transaction. All right, so this is a cancel. and this is a confirm. All right, so this is my transaction plan. The transaction plan shows you the details of the transaction before it's sent out. First, it shows you the payment URI that is equivalent to the transaction that you are currently making, and you can also see the same payment URI as a QR code. Then it gives you the details of this transaction. So the details are a bit tricky to analyze. We have inputs and we have outputs. Our first input is fairly obvious. We are spending the transparent funds, the 50 millisec. And the outputs are also pretty okay, right? We are sending to this wallet. This is the Orchard address. And we are sending a bit less, 04985, because we have to pay a fee of 15 here. And the second one is a dummy, because always we have two actions, two Orchard actions, or two sapling outputs inputs. So this is for preserving your privacy. If we didn't have that, if we only had one Orchard, then it would be kind of obvious that you're doing I'm doing a T to O because there's no change. Right? So here there's a change, so it could be that I'm combining some stuff and actually paying someone using both transparent and Orchard funds. Okay, so without the change, it would be more obvious that you are doing a self-transfer. Okay, so another surprising thing here is that you also have input of Orchard, even though we know that we don't have any Orchard nodes, since our wallet is new and we only have received transparent funds. And that's because in Orchard, inputs and outputs actually combine into one action. So when you have the protocol doesn't have inputs and output, it has actions for Orchard, and the action basically combines one input and one output. So these guys here are dummies. They are not spending any funds that we actually have. Their value is 0. Also note that for shielded inputs, you won't see the value because it's shielded. So, but we can guess that it's 0, 0. This is the real output, and this is the fees. I'm pretty okay with that, and I can send it. Okay, last confirmation, and we're adding the proof to the partially created Zcash transaction, and now it's out. Right, we have the transaction ID. Transaction ID is here, so the transaction is out. If I try it again, it will say that this transaction is already in the mempool. So preparing the same. The second time is an error because the transaction is already in the server. Alright, so transaction ID, I can copy paste it into Block Explorer and see what's going on there. Right. Okay, so as expected, we have one public input and two Orchard actions. And so far, it has not been mined yet. Alright, so I can close this. I'm gonna wait for, well, we need to wait for a miner to pick up the transaction and include it in the block. In the meantime, let's continue with our demo. So we have done this. Okay, so next step is we're gonna work with view-only accounts. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get the viewing key for this account and import a new account with that viewing key and make sure that we have the same transaction history. Okay, so to do that, let's go to account edit again. This time I'll go to the viewing key page, and I have this viewing key here. So this viewing key is very large because it has all the receivers. I can omit receivers. This will be Orchard only viewing key, so it will be capable of only seeing the Orchard history of my account. Or I can have a sapling and Orchard, and I can even have only a transparent viewing key. So this is not a unified viewing key. This is an XPub key from Bitcoin protocol. So all these keys are still usable. Okay, so the one I'm going to use is transparent orchard. Let's do transparent orchard. I'm going to copy this key, save it into here, and that's it. Go back here, and then I create a new account, call it test view. Okay, and this time I'm restoring an account. Okay, so it tells me that I can use a lot of different types of key, either a seed phrase with 12, 18, 21, or 24 words, a sapling secret key, so that's from ZKHD, a viewing key, that's what I'm going to use. No, I'm going to use a unified viewing key. The viewing key here is a sapling viewing key from ZKHD, so it's a legacy thing. The XPRV transparent key, that's for transparent wallets that use BIP32, and or BIP38 key. These are the private keys, transparent private keys. So all these keys can work. The one that I'm using, or the birth height, is the height at which your wallet has transactions. This way you don't have to scan anything before that birth height. Okay, so what do we have? Oh yeah, we have to put the seed. All right, now we can also enter the seed fingerprint. Don't really need a seed fingerprint, so I'm going to leave it empty. Okay, all right, Zkool. And I have test view. Test view should have the same addresses, right? So we'll go to test view. Well, we will not have the same address because yeah, because this is the diversified one, and this is the primary one. Okay, if I sync this account, oh, this is the shielding one, right? So this is a shielding transaction that the one that we just did, the one that goes from transparent to orchard. But if you look at here, I actually don't see that it's coming from transparent, because my wallet was created after the transaction that populated the wallet. And that's because my birth height for the test view account is kind of wrong, right? If I go here and edit this dude, I see the birth height is 4032, but this one is earlier, so it's like 12 blocks earlier, and during these 12 blocks I receive a transaction. So what I need to do, okay, let's synchronize this one too actually. So we can see that the synchronization point is not the same. This one has seen the shielding transaction, and this one has seen the funding transaction, right? But it's not synchronized enough to see the second one. So let's synchronize both. Right. Oh, this is odd. Oh, the price was not updated, I think. Yeah, it's just a bug. Should have updated the price. Oh, I didn't wait long enough, maybe. Oh, this one. Okay, this is because during the autosync, we noticed that the server, which is this guy here, right, Zkool, is returning a 304 timeout, gateway timeout. So it's not 100% stable, and sometimes it returns an error. Doesn't really matter because it was just going to be retried later. Okay, so this one, they have the same balance, but they don't have the same history, because this one sees that I was funded with 50, and then I did a shielding transaction. But this one only sees the shielding, and it thinks that the funds came directly to the orchard pool. All right, this is annoying. Okay, so what I need to do to have the test view history correct is edit the birth height. So to edit the birth height, and I'm gonna put 0, 0, 0. A bit earlier, it doesn't hurt. And I'm gonna reset the synchronization data. So changing the birth height doesn't change your synchronization data. And also going to disable this guy so that I'm not messed with the auto sync. Okay, so now it's back to 0, so I have nothing. And if I synchronize, okay, so if I synchronize, I still expect a problem because I have not scanned for diversified transparent addresses. So this assumes now that I have an account that uses only a single transparent address. So to account for this, to consider this, I have this button that scans the address. So two things I could do. I could either manually create a new set of addresses, clicking this button here, like I did before. What's going on? So this unavailable is getting worse. All right, let's change server. Let's go to zcachd. Okay. All right, and yeah, so I was saying what we can do is either create manually another diversified address, which will get me the second transparent address, or I can use yeah, it works on the second server. I can use the sweep function. So sweep function will analyze, will scan addresses automatically and report any address that is new and has funds. I have to wait a bit. This was already done. I didn't pay attention. Oh no, this is like one new address added. So it found the second diversified transparent address. And now I'm all set up for this. I have updated the birth height, and I have essentially scanned the additional transparent addresses. So I should be all good for recovery. So I press the sync, and yep, we have now a history that is identical between the test view and the test. Right. The only difference is that this guy can sign transactions and this guy cannot, can only see transactions. All right, so we have done this. Right, another thing we can do is I'm gonna put my test view first. Why? Just why not? I can swap them around like this. And I'm gonna hide this one, tester. Okay, so then I disable it and hide it. Okay, so at this point only test view is visible. To access hidden accounts, I click on this button, and it requires authentication, fingerprint, and now I can see this guy. They are both disabled. You see it by the fact that it's in gray instead of in black. So in gray means that if I press this button, they will not be synchronized. Right, 34, I press this guy, and basically nothing will happen because none of the accounts are enabled now. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's go. Okay, we did that. Oh, now let's do a Minty recipient transaction. All right, so for this, I need a new account to send funds to. So I could create another account like this, right? Like before. But I can also use the same seed. Right? So I can use the same seed, but change the extra passphrase or the account index. So either these two guys will give me a different set of a different account. It's called me the test receiving. and let's call it passphrase hello and account index 1. So normally it's 0 and no passphrase. All right, so if I do this, this is going to be a completely different account. None of the addresses will be the same, and you can synchronize this guy. Okay, and he has nothing in there. All right, so what I want to do is send some funds from okay, hide this password, so now I hide it again. So I want to use this account to send funds to this one, and I want to send both sapling and orchard. Okay, bar sapling orchard. So let's collect the address. So this is a sapling address, and this is the orchard address. So normally you use the QR code, but on the same machine, so I can't really scan myself. Okay, what was that? It was here. Okay, and then go back to the account that has actually funds, this one, and do a payment. So I want to pay to sapling 0.01. Okay, this is sapling. Sapling. It's kind of obvious, but why not? Then instead of doing this send button, I do the plus instead. So plus will queue this particular recipient, and then it appears here, right? So you have this address, and you have the amount. And you want to delete, then you can press the touch can to delete that recipient. So I have one recipient. I need to create a second one. This is going to be this guy here, and then setting 015. So the memory appears. This one is altered actually. Okay, so plus, and then when I'm happy, I press this send. So same thing, I choose which pool I want to source from, and in this case here, this option doesn't work because if one recipient pays the fees, well, which one? Could be the first one, could be the second one, and since it's pretty undecided, I've selected that if you use this option, you get an error. Yeah, you get an error. Multiple recipients, but recipient pays fees. You could also disable this button. Maybe this is. Alright, so disable this guy, and then I did send. So we have a plan here. Okay. Alright, so plan is more complicated because we have inputs are orchard. So our input is now is shielded, right? So our input is only orchard, and we're sampling to sapling. So first is this one is the sapling output, and this one is the orchard output as specified 10 and 15. But now we have dummies, right? We have one dummy for sapling because we always want at least two shielded outputs. So this is a dummy for sapling, and we don't have a dummy for orchard because we really need to have a change, right? So the amount of input is in orchard was nearly 0.50, 0.4975, something like that, or 85. And so we have some value going back to our own wallet. This is a change, and so since we have two orchard, then we also have two orchard inputs because they go in pairs. So this is why we have this this transaction, and we can also save this as a payment URI. You can see this payment URI has actually two parts. It has address, and it has address 1 because there are two payees. So if I don't want to send this guy, I could save this payment URI code, or I can save the copy this payment URI to my clipboard. Okay, I save it here, which means that if I don't want to do this transaction now and I close it, I can recreate exact same transaction by doing a send and by pasting this address, the payment URI as an address, or I can scan it. Okay, so I paste it here, and you can see the two recipients are back. Then I press the send, and we have returned to the same spot as before. So now the difference though is that we don't have the send button here. That's because this is a viewing account. The viewing account cannot sign the transaction, so we can't proceed further. But we can save this unsigned transaction. So I'm going to save it as unsigned transaction. Okay, and then close the page because there's nothing else I can do. So normally you would take the file unsigned transaction and transfer that to the wallet that has the keys. For the demo, the wallet that has the keys is actually the same wallet, except that it's hidden. So I'm gonna unhide it. Right, this is this guy here, and I'm gonna send. But instead of building my transaction by hand by filling the form and pressing plus or send, I'm going to use this option here that loads the transaction. So load the transaction from unsigned transaction bin, and you can see that this is the transaction I've had before with the same payment URI and the same input outputs. Right, so we are good. And if I press this is going to sign and it's going to transfer. But this is not exactly what you would have in a cold wallet scenario, because the wallet that has the keys is not supposed to be online, right? So it's not supposed to be able to broadcast a transaction. And okay, so this is a bit tricky because I'm not sure how I can turn off the Wi-Fi without interrupting the broadcast, because I'm broadcasting live here. Right, this is a pickle. Well, I guess you're gonna have to trust my word for it. Yeah, okay, so I guess you have to trust my word for it. So what's gonna happen normally is that this guy is gonna be a signing instead. Then you press this button, it's gonna sign the transaction and ask you to save as a file. Then you would have a file called sign.tx, and the sign.tx file, you bring it back to the first machine. So for example, I bring it back to test view, and I'm still thinking of how I can simulate not having network while broadcasting. That seems to be impossible. Okay, well, anyway, to do this, if I load this transaction but I don't load the unsigned transaction, but I load the signed transaction, then it will give me the option to broadcast. So this is a difference. So didn't think about this, that we can't do live a cold wallet. Yeah, I can't take an app and cut it off the internet. I don't think it's possible on macOS. Yeah, but so skip that. That's unfortunate. It was pretty interesting, but yeah, not a super big deal. Okay, so we cannot know who the full signing offline and bring it online, but at least I can sign with the second account, right? So we go back to didn't finish this stuff. Let's finish up at least. Do the go to test. So this guy has a key. I said that we send, but we load the transaction and sign, and then we press this guy here. You want to send transaction, confirm, and then the rest is the same thing. So we did half of the cold wallet. We made the transaction on the online wallet. We made an unsigned transaction that we transferred to supposedly the offline wallet, but unfortunately the offline wallet is online. And then we sign and broadcast from the offline between quotes wallet that happened to be online. All right, so we have the transaction ID here. This means that if we go to the block explorer, we should have this guy. Yeah, so not mine yet. It has two. Okay, so this is treated inputs and outputs. Yes. Okay, so this is orchard to sampling and orchard. So we have no shielded inputs because shielded inputs are actually sampling inputs and outputs. So we don't have any sampling inputs. We do have two sampling outputs, one of them being a decoy, a dummy, not a decoy, a dummy. We have no transparent inputs and outputs because it's orchard. And we have two orchard actions, one for the change and one for the transfer out, and also one orchard input for the funds. Okay, so this is exactly as expected. And if you want to know how to count the fees, it's very simple. It's the max of these guys. So it's going to be 2, right? The maximum value between these two. So it's 2. The number here, which is 2. And then the max of these guys here, which is 0. And you sum the 3. So 2 plus 2 plus 0, that's 4. And you multiply that by 5, so that's 20. So the fee is 20. Well, the fee here is not calculated right. They never calculate the fees right. I've been arguing. I notified them 100 times already that the Darkhawk Block Explorer doesn't calculate the fees properly. It's I don't know, it's in the JSON. But anyway, yeah, it should be in the JSON. Wow, it's pretty unreadable. Okay. Let me see, you can change fee. No, fee is not in there. You can calculate the fee manually by summing the value balance, right? You can see like it's 10,200 here, and then here's a value balance here. Right, so essentially these guys, they balance out. Oh, it's very complicated. But anyway, you can also see it from the fact that here we have the fee. Right, the fee, as you said, it's 4 times 5. 5 is the base fee, 5,000. So 5,000 multiplied by 4 is 20,000. So we have 20,000 Zats in fees. Okay. Then if the funds arrived here, it's 5 confirmations. It means that if I refresh, I should have some funds, 0.25 exactly, going from here to here. Okay, let's refresh. Well, if I see nothing happens because these are disabled. So let's select them. If you select them manually, it overrides the enable flag. So if I select these two and then press synchronize, they will get synchronized or not. What's up, dude? I guess that doesn't work. All right, that's a bug. All right, let's do it by hand then. Okay, and we have this 25,200. Right, so 25 was the payment and 2 is the fee. Okay, and this guy should have 25. Yeah, 25. All right, so this is as expected. That's the end. That concludes the everything that I wanted to show. So besides the cold wallet scenario, we were able to do everything else, everything planned. Let me see if I missed something. Okay, let's just go through the buttons and see. Plus we saw this guy. We saw this is the settings. This guy we saw, of course. This is the hide. So we saw that the reorder we did, the account edit. So this guy. This is showing the viewing key, right? So we saw that one. We also tried this one, export. We did the reset account. This guy we saw. Then if I select an account, well, the only button we didn't see is the application log. So it's just practically for debugging. It's all the messages that the backend sent to the front end, because you want to debug the stuff. Synchronize, rewind, we don't really need to. Receive funds, your address, and this is send. Okay, memos. So this is the memo tab. Okay, pretty clear. Click, you have the details. We did that, we saw that. Then we have notes. Yeah. If you select a note, then you are turning it off for spending. So if I select that guy, unselect that guy, sorry, it means that I will not be spending this guy, which is pointless anyways, because this was the decoy with not the decoy, the dummy with 0. Or it was the change of 0. No, that was the change of 0. And then okay, then that's pretty much it. That's all the features we have, which is actually more features than Z wallet, Y wallet, for accounts and stuff. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you today, and so the wallet is feature complete. I'm gonna still use it as a primary wallet and fix bugs, but that's it for now.